Hello YouTube. Well, I'm back today with another video for a brand new company called Hawkseek. Now, before I start, I've not been paid to do this review. I've received this machine free of charge, and this is my unbiased opinion of this machine. Now, the machine in question is called the HS-K7. And here's the box. You'll have to excuse me, I'm in my junk room. It's absolutely freezing cold outside here in the UK. And so it's, I'm doing it upstairs in my junk room at the moment. So this is the Hawkseek machine, or this is what the actual box is. Inside the box, we get the normal folding up miniature shovel and pick. We get headphones, which I personally do not like at all. They are nicely padded, don't get me wrong. However, they are very, very cheap. You will probably end up standing on the cord and snapping them within 5 minutes. So you'll have to go out and buy another pair. They are very cheap and very cheerful. I don't know what they sound like, but I wouldn't be using them. But I suppose for out-of-the-box use to go straight out in the field and keep an emergency pair, they would be ideal. We have the Hawkseek user manual, and we have the detecting bag. So, we also have the very handy quick guide. So, where does this machine fit in the market? Well, it's a $200 US machine, so that's about 150-ish pounds, UK pounds, which would be probably around about the 170-ish euros, I guess. So this end of the market is quite literally saturated with beginners machines. You can get a beginner's machine from £70 up on some websites, some even cheaper, I suppose. But they are very, very cheap rubbish. So let's have a look at this one and we'll see what makes this one different, shall we? I'll move the box out the way. I'll move the headphones out the way. And here is the machine. So, first of all, let's talk about the stem. I like this stem design. For the rear cam lock here, you've got lifted up and you can slide this from number 1 position. Let me see if I can get my cap. There we go, got my light on. Right, so we go from number 1 through to position number 4, and you can just slide that backwards and forwards, and then you've got the cam lock underneath, and you just click it in, and it's rock solid. I can't move that at all. So that's for your armrest. Now for your actual cam locks down here, that is the machine completely folded up. It's probably, oh blimey, it's a fairly good size, fairly small size. I would probably guess about 2 feet in length, about 24 inches. So not bad. We've got a full extension like we have with the Greenex machine that I recently done, where it folds right up into the actual armrest. When you have a look, that section will fold up into here. So that's a very, very good design. The only problem with the Greenex one was that I found it was too short, and I've found exactly the same problem with this one. It's about 2.5 inches, 3 inches too short for me. I'm 6'5", which is a major problem. But for the average person, I guess it's ideal size for them. we have something very, very different on this machine compared to all of the others. This is a double D coil. Now, a lot of the machines are concentric coils. Now, I can explain the difference. On a double D coil, you have a coil that runs here, which is 1D, and the other one on the other side that runs this way. That's what makes it double D. You see? 1, 2. Now, the idea about a double D coil is that in the middle here is the machine's sweet spot, and it basically can pick up quite deep targets very, very well. Now, a concentric is just a plain round circle, and when you detect with it, it produces a cone shape which goes into the soil. Now, the cone shape is very, very good. It can pinpoint very, very accurately, whereas this one can see and discriminate between targets an awful lot better, because obviously it's using the two coils. Okay, so on most beginners machines you do not see a double D coil. So for this range, which this machine is selling for $200 US, yes, a double D coil is very, very welcome. It should discriminate and be able to lock onto a target an awful lot better. So let's have a look at the screen. Let me turn my light back off. There we go. Okay. So we've got the power on button. Right, I'm going to turn the sensitivity right down. Hang on, let's have a check how to do that. There we go. Right, so there's the sensitivity button there, which is very helpful. So we've got the plus and the minus, we've got power on, we've got the pinpoint button, we've got the volume button to hand as well. And we've got the mode button, which means we go from all metal to discrimination, to memory, and to jewelry mode. So we're basically using the same software as all beginners machines seems to have. So all metal mode is just that. It will detect absolutely everything. My battery indicator is flashing because I'm using rechargeable batteries, and one of them must be quite low, which is a shame, so I'm going to have to make this fairly quick then. So discrimination, so that you'll be able to discriminate different sectors in blocks of what on there would be 0 to 40, then 40 to 55, 55 to 65, 65 to 75, 75 to 85, and 85 to 99. So there you go. So that's your discrimination mode done. Right, so jewelry mode will give you everything open, so it must be a bit more reactive to the sensitivity. So memory mode. Right, the memory mode. Got you, sorry. Doing that a bit wrong, aren't I? Memory mode means that when you turn around and put something in front of it and then set it, it will only pick up numbers of that type. It won't pick anything else up. It will go completely quiet. And we then have jewelry mode, which, as you can see, instantly blanks out the iron content. So very easy to use. It's nice to see a color screen on here. So what do I like? What do I not like? Right, well, for $200 at this end of the market, I would have expected something different from Hawkseek. Maybe they could have turned around and set the trend for a new detector. However, this end of the market, a lot of the metal detectors are of the same ilk. They're all using the same kind of software because it's safe and it's stable, which I can't blame them. If it's their first brand new machine, then, you know, all well and good. You've got to start somewhere. But what is good to see is a colour screen. Nobody else seems to have one. And the covering plastic over it is quite good. Although you can see that if you press it, you do get some bleed. Look. So wiping it, you're going to have to be careful when you're out in the field that when you wipe it, you don't turn around and press too hard. Otherwise, you'll break the screen. I love the fact that it's got a double D coil on it. However, one thing I did notice when I first got this machine, I couldn't get it to actually work properly. And that's because of this connection. That is now done up solid. And when I first did it up, it was loose. You could then wiggle this. So you've got to wiggle it, put it in back in as far as it will go, and then tighten that up. And at the moment, it's tightened up as hard as it will go. And it's still not 100% solid. So that might be a slight issue when you go out into the field. I don't like that the stem is too short. It's going to eliminate an awful lot of the taller people being able to use this machine. But I love how compact and how rugged this thing feels. It feels like you could throw this off a cliff and it will just bounce. It really is solid. I love the cam locks. Absolutely brilliant. But the problem is that I can foresee, if you break something, how are you going to replace it? I mean, you break the arm cup, fair enough. That will just come off. I'll show you. Look, watch. Turn the light back on. You undo the clip and lift. Come on, off you come. There you go. It comes off. So, if you break the armrest, you can turn around and get another one. Oh, Greenrex won't supply spares. Why do companies do this? Why turn round and do bits that they can turn round and replace, but then won't sell replacement parts? Weird. I mean, think about it. That bit here, this bit up here, is going to be the first part that breaks, simply because of the way you keep putting your arm in and out of the arm cup. So it would make sense to turn round and sell replacement parts that are going to snap. So, Hawkseek, come on, get with the program, sell some spare parts, especially that bit, because that bit is going to be the main problem, I think, for you and for other users. Right, that's the other thing. Why is that bar there? It makes putting your hand in and putting that clip down fiddly. Right. I don't know why it's there. You can't take it off either. Why is it there? I don't know what purpose that serves. But otherwise, it's a pretty good, solid, rock solid machine. Is it worth $200? That's a good question. The thing is, if you've got a coloured screen, you must have a decent DSP chip in there. So why not add an adjustable ground balance or a recovery speed? The chip must be able to handle that kind of algorithm fairly easily if it's managing a coloured screen. You've got a double D coil that you could make more use of than just a standard beginner's machine. You could have done a bit more with this machine than just having it as a standard beginner's machine, to be fair. But otherwise, for a beginner's machine, it's a lot better than some of the other offerings out there. Take, for example, the, because I've done a review on them, the Dr. Otech MTXR. I mean, when you consider the stem design on that compared to this is an awful lot stronger, an awful lot better. However, it just, if you do snap something, as I say, you can't buy spares for it, which is a problem, which is the same with the Green Rex Rex 8 that I've also done a review for recently. You can't get spare parts for that. But yeah, I like it. I do like it. It's quite nice. Anyway, I'm going to go. I'm going to go and upload this to YouTube now. So, what are your views on this machine? What do you think? Bye.